Today I want to spend this first little bit talking a little bit about relaxation as far as it being a thing to do. Most of the time when you think of relaxing, you know, I find it interesting. I've worked with several people who have gone to the doctors, you know, and for stress-related problems, and the doctor says, well, you just need to do something to relax. And the person will say, well, what should I do? And the doctor will go, I don't know, just do something that will make you relax, that will help you relax. Well, I don't know what that would be, and the doctor doesn't know either, really. Just don't do something that's stressful. That's like saying, go exercise by walking up your stairs once or something. I mean, it's not very useful. And when people say relax, you know, when you say, you know, I need to relax, what does that usually turn into? What? But I mean, as far as, okay, I'm doing something that is going to relax me. For most of us, most people in this culture, what is it that they do next when they're told, or when they realize for themselves, yeah, I need to relax, so I'm going to, and what is it that they do? Okay, sleeping is one of those common ones. Or just watch TV, you know, kick back, some popcorn and watch something. And there's nothing wrong with those things. I'm not being down on them. The effectiveness of them is questionable as far as, does it work to take you out of the stress response? Sometimes it might. I mean, we'll talk about a variety of ways that you can, besides through relaxation techniques, ways that you can help yourself out. For some people, fishing is, you know, the most relaxing thing. For other people, that just drives them crazy. For some people, knitting is their relaxation moment. For other people, that would just, I mean, I would go bonkers trying to do that. I don't know how, and so it would just, but we do know that there are things that we can do that really do, that have as their single purpose turning off the stress response, taking us out of that fight or flight response. There are a bunch of things that have been studied, mountains of research to show that they work. And so when we say in here, we're going to relax, what we mean is we're really going to relax. We're really going to pull ourselves out of the stress response physiologically as a result of what we do, either physiologically or psychologically, in other words, what goes on in our mind. That most of these don't have any other purpose, but like, you know, you lift dumbbells, you know, and you're doing these curls. Those are specifically designed to strengthen which muscles? Not your calves, right? Same way with these relaxation exercises. They're specifically designed to make relaxation happen, and they work. So it's kind of cool that way. Just about every Thursday from now on, we'll be doing some type of relaxation exercise. And so before we get into today's, I want to explain to you my ground rules for when we're doing the exercises, because really if we don't all go by these, then it will be a bad experience for a few of us. You won't get the maximum benefit from it. And so I want you to, you'll probably remember these. You don't need to like write them down. You're not going to be quizzed on them or anything. But as we spend every Thursday some portion of that day doing these, please keep these in mind. So, and I've just got a few bulleted items I want you to keep in mind. The first one is, if you come to class and you're late and you notice that the doors are closed and the lights are out, but there's people in here, I don't want you to knock on the door to try to get in. Okay? If we're already in the middle of something or in the beginning of something, I'm not going to open the door for you. You know, if we're like this, absolutely. But if we're lights out and our eyes are closed, I'm not going to come crawling over everyone to let you in. Okay? I won't. And you can stand out there pleading, please, I need this so bad. And I say, too bad. You're late. So just be patient, and then when we're done, happy to let you in. Second item, and this, at the beginning of the semester, one of the syllabus items was no electronic items, cell phones, iPads, laptops, that sort of thing. But when we do the exercises, I want your cell phones off. I do not want any Star-Spangled Banner or Britney Spears or Rush or something like that going off in the middle of an exercise. I don't even want it to, is it rumble? Vibrate. I don't want it to even vibrate. I used to tell people, I used to play a lot of baseball. I played high school baseball, had some offers to play college baseball. I had a pretty good arm and played middle infield usually. And if I hear your cell phone, it will become a baseball, and I will chuck it at the wall. And I've got I threw a mid-80 mile an hour fastball. I don't want your cell phones going off no matter what. Okay? Just get that in your heads. No vibrating. Have I made that point clear enough? Don't have them on. Because yours will go off and everybody around you will hate your guts. Because they'll be like totally relaxed and suddenly, man, Rush is going off and I got to be a new world man or something. You know, just don't want it on. Third thing, when we do these exercises, I will guide you through them. Sometimes we'll actually pull it straight from the DVD or the CD, the audio part. And sometimes, like today, I'll guide you through it. You probably have not done anything quite like these before. Trust that I know what I'm doing. When we end it, especially, take a long time to finish. So, like when I say, at some point in today's exercise, I'll say, okay, now we're done, we're going to slowly return. Don't just open your eyes and sit up. You will feel awful if you do. You'll feel quite like you feel when you're in the middle of a great dream and suddenly the phone goes off and you're awake. You know that yucky feeling of being abruptly awakened? That's the same kind of feeling you'll have. If we hooked you up to a brainwave, like an electroencephalogram, and monitored your brainwave activity during these, you'd have monster amounts of alpha and beta and theta, those lower brainwave rhythms cranking, meaning you're very relaxed. And if we pull you out, if you pull yourself out of that really quickly back into what's called beta brainwave activity or wide awake alert, it's a jolt. So just trust that the speed that I guide you to return is the right one, okay? And just kind of just go with whatever I ask you to do. The next thing, we good with those three things? The next one is if you absolutely know that you need to leave, like the exercises usually last anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. And if you know you need to leave in 10, then leave before it starts. I don't want anyone walking out in the middle of an exercise. I'll fail you for the class if you do that. Because nobody will like you. You'll have to make your way around other people, and you'll bump people, and they're relaxing. And so if you know you got to leave, then just do. And so it doesn't disrupt the flow. Does anyone here have kids? Like kids like this level? You two do. If we're doing an exercise, and I love kids. I have 4, and I have one that's this size. And if we're doing these on a day that you haven't got daycare or something like that, don't bring your kids in. I love kids, but I don't want them in here during the exercise, because, you know, the young kids don't understand what we're going through, so what are you doing? And it'll just be a mess. So I've had students in the past who from time to time have had to bring their kids in for whatever reason. I'm okay with that, you know, there's color or something, but not during a relaxation exercise. Next one. As we do these, one thing I know for sure is they're really weird. They're really unusual. You don't normally see people doing what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to ask you to do some things that seem really strange. Focusing on different parts of your body, your breathing, or trying to create sensations in your body. You won't do anything that will interrupt any of your philosophical or religious or spiritual beliefs. I guarantee nothing you do in here will be contrary to anything you currently hold as dear and true to your heart. And they will seem really strange. You'll go, especially autogenics, you'll go, man, that seems so weird that I'm doing that. And they work. So just trust that what you're doing is designed to cause a tremendously relaxing experience. And here's the thing that I do know from thousands of people who have done this in the past is not every one of them works the same way for everyone. So some of you will really find progressive relaxation is the one. Some of you will find the power nap today is it's like does things for you you've never felt before. There's only been, but not everyone will be really great for you. Just be okay with that. In the 15 years that I've been doing this, 16 years or so, there's only been 2 people in all those years who haven't had a positive experience with at least one of them. And both of them were on really heavy medication. They were on some medication for anxiety and some other things, and nothing helped them. But otherwise, everyone else, so that's like 99 point, everyone will respond in here positively to at least one of them, but don't expect them all to be your, you know, perfect relaxation exercise. As we do these, so good to there, any questions? As we do these, once you're lying down until I have you sit back up, I don't want you to do any talking to anybody. Especially at the end when we're finishing up. I don't want you to, you know, look over, hey, what'd you think of that? Because everyone will finish at a different pace somewhat. I'll guide us out of it, but everyone will finish at a different pace, and I don't want your conversations to get into somebody else's peacefulness. I don't want your conversations to get into their one moment of serenity that they have in a day. So just kind of keep your thoughts, we'll talk about it afterwards, but I just kind of keep your thoughts to yourself while we're the entire time that we're lying down. Okay? Couple more things. One of the things that will happen, and if it happens, I don't want you to resist this, but one of the things that will happen is we're doing these and somebody in here will start snoring. It always does. Do any of you know you're snorers? Like, you're pretty sure you're honking when you sleep? So if that happens, and it will, I don't want you to resist it. I don't want you to not attempt the exercise because you know you're going to be snoring. But what'll happen if somebody's lying on the ground and obviously loud, then I'll just come over and kind of kick you or hit your shoulder once or twice to kind of arouse you a little bit. And don't be offended by me doing that. I'm not doing it because I don't like you. I'm doing it because nobody else around you likes you. Because you're snoring. Okay? Does that make sense? So, and I will too. I mean, I after years of doing this, I know what people don't like, and snoring's one of them. But you will be so relaxed sometimes that, I mean, you're totally unconscious and snoring kicks in. So just, I'm lovingly bringing your awareness up a little bit. Okay? Let's see. Okay. I think that's about it for ground rules. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions about any of that? Okay, so what I'd like you to do first before we begin today, and I'll describe the exercise we're going to do, but I want you to find your pulse. I want you to sit up in your seat so your back's kind of mostly up and down, and I want you to find your pulse. So it's either here, here, just find it, make sure you've got it. Does anyone need help finding it? Okay, so when I say begin counting, just start counting your heartbeats. So, excuse me, ready? Begin. Stop. Okay, so just in your head, double that number and keep it in your head. You won't write it down now, but just kind of make a mental note. So if you counted 35, then in your head just remember 70. Okay? Because we'll refer to that again in a few minutes. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to do an exercise that I call the power nap. It is an exercise I kind of made up in that I've never seen anyone else do this, and it's kind of a combination of a yoga pose, breathing, and kind of total body relaxation. The one thing that's unique about this one compared to all the others, some of the exercises we'll do sitting, like we are now. Most of them we'll do lying flat on the floor. We have yoga mats in the back two cabinets, and we'll all just go grab one really fast. But this particular exercise is different in that you're going to be using your chair. Only you're not going to be sitting on it. You're actually going to be on the floor. And we got a huge class, so we'll have to do this together in an organized way. But you're going to be on the floor, and how I want you to look is this. So you're going to be lying on the floor, and you'll have your feet up on the chair like this, okay? And then, I'm afraid I'm going to mash this microphone thingy. So, and you'll just have your hands out to the sides like this, and just have your feet up there like, so your calves are on the seat of the chair. If you want to turn it sideways, if you have really short legs, then put your feet this way. But I'd like it so that really, so it's 90 degrees. So here's your chair, and so that at your hips it's 90 degrees, and at your knees it's 90 degrees. So you're not like your legs aren't going this way, and your heels are here. Does that make sense? So your legs are resting on the chair. So actually what we'll do, and I think how we'll have to do this, I mean, we have room outside, we have room in the 6 beats. So not very much. 8 beats, it went higher. Oh, what did it go from and to?
It went from a 62 to a 70.
To 72? Really? Oh, that's unusual. How many stayed exactly the same? Does anyone count the second time? No difference. Okay. How many? What did it? Was it lower by anywhere from 1 to 5 beats? In other words, when you doubled the number. So instead of 70, it was somewhere between 65 and 70, for example. How many were in that category where it went down by approximately 5, 1 to 5? Anyone 6 to 10 beats? Really? 11 to 15? Anyone more than 15? What did yours go from and to? To 60? Wow. What did yours, Hannah, what was yours?
Mine went 76 to 62.
To 62, so 12. Who are the others who are 15, 12, 10 to 15? What did yours go from? And
70.
so 12, and who else? Was that you? What did yours go?
Mine went from 90
To 80? Interesting. Now, apart from 2 or 3 of you who it increased, and that always happens sometimes. There's a few whose heart rate doesn't go up or doesn't go down. How would you explain why in a 15-minute period somebody's heart rate yours went, say that again, yours went from what to what?
84 to 60.
So hers dropped by 24 beats per minute. How would you explain why that happened? What's your name?
Aisha?
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 Aisha. Am I close? Aisha. Okay, what's your... do you have any easier names than that? No. So, I don't want to all semester long going, man, he cannot say my name. Aisha, why is it that, how can we explain what's going on for her? She's sitting, then she does something, and now her heart rate has gone down by 24 beats a minute. Holy cow. What's the explanation for that?
Something really big that I noticed in myself is just the tension in your muscles. Like you don't notice when you're just sitting in your chair. You're not focused on that, but there's a lot. Like your body's just tight. And when you sit there and you listen to somebody telling you, it's like, let it go. And you notice and you do let it go, and I think probably your heart is under less strain after that.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have to work nearly as hard to create the same, lying there or sitting there as you were before, because that very thing is happening. In the stress mode, our physiology says, pump quick, tighten up, get breathing quickly. For any of you, was it very difficult to go from normal breathing to just stomach? Was that a challenge for anybody? That was for you? So, how did you deal with it?
I don't know, I just feel like whenever I breathe out, I can push my stomach out like I'm forcing you to do it. And then like normally, I just like I do it.
Okay. So you're naturally a little more chest breather. I should say you've conditioned yourself to be a little more of a chest breather. So little by little, as you do these, you'll start to find yourself going more naturally just this. And there's nothing wrong with that being the case. It's just new for some of us. Because like you were saying, we're unconscious of the fact that we're in the stress response a lot of the time. How many of you does anyone feel worse than they felt before? I always leave that possibility open, because some of these you might just go, no, that's not good. Does anyone, how many of you feel just pretty much came in, did it, feel the same now as you did before? A few of you are in that category. How many of you feel, yeah, a little better, not a lot, but just a little bit better than before? Good chunk. How many of you are like, wow, that's significant, a significant difference? So a good number. Did you like that one, Mary Kay? Does that feel good? How many in here had problems with your legs, you know, your feet or your back starting to feel uncomfortable? The problem with the chairs as they are is they're not quite the right size for everyone's legs. When you do this on your own, you'll find something similar to this that will fit just fine, and that won't be a problem. Let's see, what else can I ask you? How many were freezing cold? Did anyone get freezing cold? It's so cold in here. Did anyone think they would be cold and didn't get cold? Did anyone fall into that category? That's interesting. You have something to say?
I got frozen after.
After it was done, then you...
And then I started getting chills, and I'm freezing. My hands are cold.
Yeah. Oh, why don't you let's open those doors really quickly. If a couple of you wouldn't mind just going, just open the doors really fast. I think that'll help with the, thank you. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions about your experience? Did anyone experience anything a little unusual, a little...
About midway through it, I felt my almost like my entire body like resisting that relaxation. Like it was weird. I was like, why am I not wanting to relax?
That's interesting.
And then I was just over it. I'm just trying to quiet my mind and listen to what you're saying. And as soon as I made that like mental agreement, like, all right, I'm over this. Let's listen to what the guy's saying. Then I felt like my entire body go ooh, and try to like melt into it.
Really? So at some point, so you were like not wanting to, and finally you just say, okay, let's just do it.
It was weird because as soon as
That's
I made that agreement with myself, like, all right, just listen to what the dude's saying. And then my shoulders like fell back and my head like dang near broke off. And
You noticed that difference?
Yeah.
Nice. Isn't that cool? I think that's so cool that, I mean, our natural state is one of being relaxed. Not, like you were saying, not tense, but since we're in the stress mode all day, that becomes our so-called natural state. And when we do turn back into our real natural state, how we were when we were 2, you know, for tension levels, it's kind of it's a jolt. It's kind of a, I don't know how to feel this way kind of feeling. Go ahead.
I was going to say I could feel my blood pulsing through like every vein, through all the arms and everything.
You could? You could feel it when it was
like
happening?
every time it would beat, like my whole body would just go, I feel good.
So it felt good. It wasn't uncomfortable for you.
It was weird. Like, it's just that relaxed. That's the only feeling that's left to take, comfort for you.
See, isn't that cool? They have drugs for that, I think, but no side effects with these. Isn't that great? Anyone else? Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else?
I like just like a couple minutes kind of like blacked out. Like I kind of like I didn't fall asleep, but I just like I blacked out of sleep, but I feel like really good things.
So you were unconscious, but maybe a little tiny bit conscious? We had you hypnotized. We'll actually talk about hypnosis a little later on and what's going on and why it's such a powerful state of mind and why it works with this sort of thing really powerfully. It's so fascinating how the mind works when you change your state, altered state kind of thing. What did you find?
I was just gonna say that like when I was laying there, like I noticed like my nose starts to itch, like it started to itch. But when you would say like move your arms, my arms would be like, okay, I'll respond to it, and it didn't hurt or it didn't cause me distress. But if I did it on my own, it was like, no, like my arms did not want to move at all.
Is that right? So you really were hypnotized. Now, so my suggestion to move felt good, but not your own.
I wanted to do it. Like I was like, I know I'm gonna do it because this is gonna be uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
was like, ah.
Is that right? Fascinating. Now, one thing that brings up an interesting point, when you're doing these on your own and you do have an itch, take care of it. You know, don't try and, oh, I'm going to disappear it, or I'm going to make, just, you handle it.
Mine like went away.
It just went away?
Yeah.
Really? Interesting things happen when you move into this slightly altered state of consciousness. Almost all the time, well, actually, I don't know of many times in the thousands of people I've ever worked with where it's been negative. It never has negative side effects. I can think of maybe 2 people in 16 or 17 years who on one of the instances, one of the exercises, had a slightly uncomfortable situation. Otherwise, your body's giving you feedback, like we were saying last time. Good call. That's what it's telling you now by giving you these sensations. Good call. Nice stuff, huh? Now, here's your assignment. And I want to be very detailed with this so you know exactly what we're doing. Your assignment is to do this on 2 more occasions on your own. Okay? Now, how that will look, pay attention very closely, because it's really important that you do this the way I'd like you to do it. So you're going to do it twice, following the DVD or the CD or the downloads from the website. And you're going to do the power nap. So on the CD or the DVD or the download, use the power nap. If you download it from the website, the instructions are all right there, all the way from clicking it to getting it onto your iPod. Which, if it were me, that would be the one I would choose above all the others, so I can just put my iPod on and then lie in my bed, rather than watching it on a DVD or whatever. But all 3 ways work just fine. So, one of the times, I want you to do it mid-afternoon, kind of. So, I'd like it to be done before we meet next Tuesday. So you will have finished all of this, and that gives you ample amount of time to find a 20-minute window where you can be excluded from everything else and just do it on your own. But one of those times, like, you do it right mid-afternoon. And you'll notice on the website that it says, it asks you to do it 3 times. One of the times you're going to talk about is the time we did in here. One of the times would be the mid-afternoon time, and you're going to describe how you felt before, during, after, and long after. Because some of you might still be kind of half in the sleep mode, but a half hour from now or an hour from now, you're going to be filled with energy. Maybe. So you're going to describe really short-term and slightly longer-term how you responded to that exercise. So like how you handled the rest of the evening. What were your energy levels like for the rest of the evening? Okay? So that's the second time that you'll do that. This is the first, that's the second. And then the third time that you're going to do it, I want you to do it as the last thing that you do before your head hits the pillow to fall asleep. Okay? So, I don't want you to do it and then go brush your teeth or watch Leno or do something else. I want you to, it's the very last thing. Really, nothing else is happening for you but going to sleep after you've done it. And if you are doing it with headphones and you find yourself nodding off, don't resist that either. If you start and you hear my voice and the music and you're about, 5 minutes into it and you can barely keep away, then let it, don't resist that. Don't stop. Don't not go to sleep. It's designed to help sleep problems. How many of us in here, just out of curiosity, how many in here does it take longer than 10 minutes to fall asleep on a regular basis? How many does it take longer than 20 minutes to fall asleep? 30? An hour? How long does it take you? Yeah. How long does it take you? Who else? Raise your hand if you were in the hour. How long does it take you? So you're just lying there for 2 hours? Okay. Really? Some nights you're awake most all the night?
Hour to all night.
So, how long did it take you to fall asleep when you were 3? Yeah, right? You just lie down and bam, you're asleep, right? It is not a natural thing for us to stay awake longer than 3 or 4 minutes. Really, I mean, it should take only about 3 or 4 minutes from when your head hits the pillow to when you're unconscious. Really, 3 or 4 minutes. If that's not happening, this is going to be one of the best things that you'll ever come upon to help with that, is these exercises. I guarantee it. Now, if it's still, there's other things we can do to play with our sleep. In other words, how to make it better, how to more quickly. But the best thing I know of, first of all, is you need something to take your mind off of the things that are keeping your mind awake, that keeps your body awake, keeps your body going. And the power nap works. So, yeah, Sarah, right?
Yeah, so at the end of the TV or something, it tells you like to sit up and stuff.
Don't do that. So, just stay. If you are lying down, then just kind of click the off button or whatever, but don't sit back up so that you're going on with the rest of your day, because you're going to sleep.
So for this assignment, do you want us to just do it, or do you want us to like write down stuff?
Okay, so if you go into the website, just like your assignment for Chapter 3, there's another folder now that says relaxation exercises, I think, is what it's called, relaxation exercises. Inside there is a similar assessment kind of thing, an assignment thing. You'll click on that, and then again, you'll write in your word processor the questions and the answers. So it'll ask, how did you feel before doing the power nap in class? During the power nap, how did you feel after? And and then you'll do the same thing with the 2 times at home, typing it up in sentences to me, and then submit it the same way you would Chapter 3. What I don't want when you do fill these out, what I don't want is, well, I felt good. You know, I want you to describe what was going on, but don't write a big deal. I have to read 140. I've got an online class that does the same thing. I don't want to hear about how your day went with, your relationships and how you got in an argument with somebody. I just want you, I was a little bit tense before, had a fight with my dog or whatever, and nobody fights their dog, does they? I fought my dog a lot. And then tell me, when I was doing it, here's what I went through, and afterwards, man, I just felt so much better. I felt like some of the things that you guys were describing.
On the one where we're doing it right before we go to bed, should we have our feet up or no?
Yeah, I would like you to do it with your feet up on this one and watch what happens. Now, it's a good question because all the rest you'll do lying down. But with this one, I have found there's something about, you can almost, if you do this the very last thing before, you can cut an hour of the amount of sleep you need off by being in that position. It takes you into your sleep rhythms more quickly than just about anything I've ever found.
Do you have any idea why?
Well, I think part of it might have to do with blood flow. I think it has to do with the relaxation that's happening in your shoulders and back, along with the mental, going through the brainwave activity, starting the deeper rhythms brainwave getting out of the beta levels more quickly. There's a lot of reasons, but yeah, I'd like you to do it with your feet up. So just find a chair or your bed. I just do it on my bed at home. And really, I do this all the time.
You just put a chair on top of your bed?
No, I would lie on the floor, and, or the other thing you can do is have like 4 or 5 pillows just underneath. If you want to lie on your bed and just do 4 or 5 pillows underneath your legs, and then when you're done, just kind of shove them off and not off. Now, if you do this exercise and you don't immediately go to bed, fall asleep, you'll be awake for a couple hours. Because your body will think you've just taken a nap. And it knows from your childhood that naps, after naps were over, you had energy. And so that's what will happen if you'll want to clean your whole house. So make sure it's the very last thing. Okay? Questions?
Me out, but I need to fall asleep.
So, have a great weekend, everyone. If you've got questions, holler at me online. See ya. Thanks, everyone.